Hello everyone and welcome to Product is Life, your one-stop shop for anything and everything about product management. In today's video, we are going to talk about PRD or a product requirements document. What are the key components of a PRD and how to write one? A PRD, very simply put, is a document that lists out all the features of a product in as much details as possible. A PRD, however, is different from a business requirement document, a BRD, or a market requirement document, an MRD. A BRD or an MRD focus more on what the actual customer problem is or what the business opportunity is, the why part of things. A PRD, on the other hand, focus more on what and how part of things. What are we going to build and how are we going to build it? So how does one write a good PRD? Now, there is no fixed template for a PRD as every product manager has their own writing style. However, there are a few key components that every PRD must have, and that is what we are going to discuss further. Objective. This section talks at a high level about why are we building this product, what is the customer problem this product will solve, and how the product will help the business grow. Please note that not every product is supposed to change the world or have an org level impact. Even a simple objective like achieving competitive parity would also suffice. The key point here is that all the concerned stakeholders should be on the same page with respect to the objective of the product. Success criteria. Success criteria lists down the quantitative metrics which should be used to measure the success or failure of the product once it is launched. Try to be as specific here as possible and leave nothing open to interpretation. For example, if you are revamping your sign-up flow with the objective of reducing your user drop-off, then your success criteria can be, let's say, 10% drop in the incomplete or abandoned sign-up requests. You can define multiple metrics as your success criteria as long as your system has the capability to properly measure the same. Product or feature details. Now this is where the meat of the PRD is. This section lists down the actual feature or subtasks of the product, usually written in the form of a user story, which goes like, as a user type, I want to perform certain actions so that I achieve certain goals. For example, let's say you want to store users' credit card details in your e-commerce platform for faster checkouts. Then your user story would look something like, as a buyer, I want to store my credit card details in my profile so that I don't need to enter the details every time and I can do faster checkout. Though the above format is an industry standard, it's not written in stone, so feel free to adapt to whatever format your team is comfortable in. The key is that product, design, and tech should be able to clearly understand the requirements. Also, try to cover all the corner cases as well while writing the user stories. For example, in our previous example, what would happen if the user enters the card details but your system is somehow not able to verify the same with the bank? Should there be a limit on the number of characters in the name field of the credit card details? In addition to the user stories, depending on the complexity of the product, this section should also contain few other details like flowchart or process flow diagrams, implementation or tech architecture details if possible, assumptions made while building the product, constraints or known scenarios where the product won't work, prerequisites or dependencies on some other data or product. User experience design. This section will include some visual representation of the UX or user journey, most likely in the form of wireframes or low or high fidelity prototypes. The age-old saying of a picture is worth 1,000 words aptly fits this situation. Having a clear vision of how the product will look like to the end user will further solidify the product understanding you detailed out in the previous section. Also add in some screenshots from your competitors for reference if a similar feature is already available on their platform. If your vision of the UX is all verbal, then there is going to be a significant gap between what you thought and what the design team created. This would lead to a lot of unnecessary iterations and would also undermine your credibility within the design team. Roadmap or release plan. A PRD should also have some info about the tentative release timeline for the product. If the product is a complex product, then probably it will have a phased release, where a certain set of features are part of the MVP, that is the minimum viable product, and the remaining features go out as incremental releases. This will help the tech team to prioritize and allocate resources accordingly. Stakeholder review and sign off. Now this is a very important part of the PRD and is often left out by a lot of product managers, even at big multinationals. The review and sign off is extremely important from an execution point of view. This brings in accountability into the system and forces the stakeholders to commit to a certain set of features, and ideally there should be no going back. Some of the teams from whom you should get a sign off are product, business, design, tech, analytics, and maybe more depending upon your org culture. Remember, products are often delayed due to people issues rather than tech issues. Thus, this step is very important to ensure timely delivery. Do you agree or disagree with this list, or have anything to add? Let us know in the comments. Please like and share this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with the latest developments in the product world.